Hey, it's a nifty scrapbooker here with another exciting episode of Scrapbooking. Today we're going to be scrapbooking children, but today I wanted to bring out something very important to me. A friend of mine at work just recently had a child about a year ago and was born unexpectedly with Down syndrome. There are 3 types of Down syndrome today, and Down syndrome is the most commonly occurring chromosomal condition. Approximately 1 in every 700 babies in the United States is born with Down syndrome. That's about 6,000 babies a year. Down syndrome can occur in people of all race and economic levels. And people with Down syndrome have an increased risk for certain medical conditions such as congenital heart failures, respiratory and hearing problems, Alzheimer's disease, childhood leukemia, and thyroid conditions. But many of these conditions are now treatable, and so most people with Down syndrome lead healthy lives today. The life expectancy with Down syndrome has increased dramatically in recent decades, compared from age 25 in 1983 to age 60 today. Today we're going to be scrapbooking a little child named Parker, and he has Down syndrome. And so we're using the colors of the ribbon to raise awareness for Down syndrome, the colors of gold and blue. So I hope you enjoy our scrapbook page today. Thanks for coming. Alright, let's get started with our layout today. Today we're doing a layout about a child named Parker who has Down syndrome, and we're going to be showing you 4 different things today. We're going to show you how to use a template upside down, how to photo mat, how to use rivets, and how to use pop dots to bring out the live your page. So today we're using these templates again from Kiwi Lane. I'm using Spook Alley for the backgrounds. I'm using a piece from the Adventure line, and I'm using a piece from Tag's line. So we'll make a tag and using rivet on that. So the first thing I wanted to go over was how to use templates upside down. Now sometimes you might have a heavily patterned paper. It might not be solid, might not be easy to see a pencil line on. So some papers are solid core, where they're blue on the front and the back, or the design is on the front and the back, or they're double-sided. One side might be lighter, one side might be darker, but some paper like this paper I'm using today, the stripe paper, is actually colored on one side and white on the other. The thing you need to remember is when you flip up your paper upside down, to flip your template upside down. So as you can see here, I already drew my line. I already cut out my first piece, which would look like this. And then, so we're going to use our second template. So here's my template. As you can see, it doesn't fit unless I turn the template upside down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up to where I already did the cut. What this is going to do is get us the depth we need. Then I'm just going to take my pencil and make one little line right there. There, we're done with that template already. We're going to grab our paper trimmer. We're going to open it up. We're going to stick this on our paper trimmer. We're going to lay that line right on our cutting line. Cut our piece of paper. And there we go. We have our border for our piece of paper. What we're going to do this time is I'm using the Distress ink again on this page layout. This time I'm using Tim Holtz Distress ink again, but this time I'm using the color Vintage Photo. Now when using a colored paper and using a Distress ink, like on this yellow piece here, as you can see, I did it kind of heavy. On this photo mat here, I did it very light because I'm going to have a photo sitting on it. But also on this, since this is colored paper, I'm going to ink it quite heavily so you can actually see it. And this will make it kind of stand out from the page. Now because we drew on it upside down, we don't have to worry about covering up any pencil lines or anything like that. almost done this. Right to the very edge. Alright, we got that one inked. Okay, good. That's all the inking we're going to do, because the other stuff I have cut I've already inked for us. Today, we're going to set that aside and let that dry a little bit. And we're going to show you how to photo mat. Now, when I cut my photo mats, as I showed you last time, you cut them 4 by 6. So this I've cut down to a 4 by 4. This mat is actually a 4 by 6. So here's our photo. Here's our photos. And I'm going to be using a Parker. We're going to actually use this one full size, but as you see, a photo is actually 4 by 6 too, so that wouldn't be a photo mat. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a little bit off of both of these photos. So here I'm going to use a short paper trimmer I have. We're going to take a little bit off this edge here, and what I usually do for a nice thin border like I'm going to use for this layout, I'm going to go just 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go 3 3/4. Cut that off there. Then I'm going to come over here. We're going to take some off the top here so we can get him fully in the picture. Then we're going to come over here and do 3 3/4 again. So if we do 3 3/4 and 3 3/4, what that does, it lets us have 1/8 of an inch border around our photo. So we're going to go ahead and get this taped down so we have it ready for our page. As you see, I've already pre-inked this with the Vintage Photo Distress ink. I like to turn my things upside down and push them down really hard. That keeps your fingerprints off the photo as much, and keeps you from smearing any ink that might still be wet. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit off of this one, about 1/8 of an inch, because this is a good picture and we don't want to take too much off. And then we're going to take that to 1/4 inch shorter. There we go. Now for my longer piece, I need to get my bigger paper trimmer here. Pull it out. And we're going to bring this at, instead of being 6 inches long, we want it at 5 3/4. So I did that at 5 3/4. Cut that 1/4 inch off. There we go. And there we have our mat for this one. We'll go ahead and tape it down. Go. I'm having a little problems with my tape runner here. Might be running out of tape. There we go. And let's get this photo taped down on this mat. And that's how you photo mat. Now if you want a little larger, let's say you want a wider border to see a little more of the paper underneath, you would actually cut this photo down to 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. That will leave a 1/4 inch border instead of the 1/8 of an inch border. Okay, let's throw this away in our bucket. Let's get this page put together. As you can see, I've already taped one section down here. We're going to go ahead and add some of our paper here. This one, we're going to take a ruler and measure this a little bit. Because what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to actually do this in, I'm going to come down 1 inch from the top of the paper to put this one down. Okay, so we're going to, I'm going to actually, I got a different tape runner here I have. I'm going to tape this down. And I said I'm going to come down 1 inch. So we'll line this up on with our ruler, come down 1 inch, tape that down. Then I've taken another template I've already made in a light blue. Remember the colors on the ribbon for awareness for Down syndrome is actually blue and gold, so that's why we're doing a lot of blue and gold on this layout. Alright, yeah, we got it. We're going to take this one all the way at the top. What that does is it drops it down just a little lower so you see some more of that striped paper there. Okay, and let's get our pictures in. I think I'm going to offset these a little bit because I have an embellishment coming up in this corner here. So we're going to go ahead and tape our photos down. There we go. Parker is such a cute little kid, and I told his mother, I said, when she sent me these photos, I said, oh, he is such a photogenic kid. He's adorable. If you've noticed, my bracelet I'm wearing on my right arm here is something that their family put together. It says small, has a little footprint, small but mighty. And on the back side of it, it says hashtag Team Parker. And at the end of this program today, at the end of our show, I'm going to be giving you a GoFundMe page. Parker has several surgeries, an open heart surgery he has to go through. He also has a colostomy, which he has to have reversed. So this little bugger is going to be going through several surgeries in the next few months. So we want to help his parents out a lot. Now, another thing I told you I want to show you is how to use a rivet. So what I did is I took the tag template and made a tag, and we're going to be putting this right here, but I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a rivet on here? So what I've done is I've just drawn a little dot here in the center, a little down from the top, and I'm going to be putting this silver rivet through it. Embellishments like this add a little extra to your mat. So what I have here is I have a set to make rivets. The first adapter, this comes off. I have this set itself from Embellish actually comes with two sizes of rivets you can use. So I'm just going to center that on my dot. I'm going to take my little hammer and punch that out. There we go. And there's our hole in our piece of paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to just drop this rivet in with the folded side from the top. We're going to turn this up and side down on our mat. We're going to switch the hole punch piece head with the flattener head. We're going to put this on top of this bottom of the rivet. And this is what's going to spread the rivet. Alrighty there. Take that down a little more. Set that aside and look at that. There's a little rivet. We're going to add this right here. But what we're going to do is we're going to use pop darts today. I have two more pieces to put on here. We got this little yellow piece here we're going to stick up here at the top, and this little embellishment here. Okay, and what we're going to use is pop dots. I don't even know where I picked these pop dots up at. Some scrapbook convention I was at, and so we're just going to put these here at the end. This bubble here. These are double-sided pop dots, and how they come on this sheet is they come so they have paper on the top and they're stuck to the bottom. So what you're going to do is I'm going to put these on here. I'll put one in the middle and some down the side. This is a bigger piece here, so I want to make sure I have enough pop dots for it. Let's throw one more on there. Alrighty, and we're going to take this little piece of paper, the top paper off the top of these dots. What this does is it raises it up off the paper, gives it a little dimension, and makes it stand out a little more. So that's the way. People have asked me, it's like, you put dimension and stuff on your papers like that with pop dots, what about when you put it in your photo album? And isn't going to squish it when you lay the book down? Well, scrapbooks are supposed to be kept on like a book on a bookshelf. So you would actually stick your book on your shelf like this, so it's not going to put the weight actually on any of your embellishments. We're going to put some pop dots on this piece here. Alrighty. Let's take the top off of these pop dots. I work with Parker's mom, and she's a great woman, and her son is just adorable, and he has gone through so many surgeries already and more to come. So I said to her, for my second episode on YouTube, what I want to do is I want to showcase children, but I also wanted to bring awareness through of the Down syndrome that affects children today. So as you know, and this, I've already done this other page for you so you can see what it looks like, and there is the page together. And see, as if you see on my templates here, with this blue line, it comes around, because they're double-sided, they continue across the page. This pattern paper with stripes comes down and comes across the page, and this zigzag at the bottom comes around and down and across both pages. So there we go. I've gone up and down with the photographs, you can see there, to create this wonderful two-page layout. Now, when I talked to his mom about doing this episode and got the permission to use his photographs, I asked her, I said, do you scrapbook? She goes, oh, I don't even have time to scrapbook. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to do these scrapbook pages, and what we're going to do is we're going to make sure she gets these scrapbook pages. So maybe she doesn't scrapbook, she can either frame them or put them on the wall or put them in a scrapbook later on. So Parker, congratulations on your wonderful life, and we look forward to hearing great things coming from you through the years as you have these surgeries, and we wish the best for you and your family. Thanks. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's new and upcoming, so I'd love to teach you more things about scrapbooking. We'll see you later on the next episode of The Nifty Scrapbooker.